Good morning. It's me, Helen. Yeah, I sound stopped up because I am. My son had rubbed his hand on some dust last night. It was on his shorts or something. And then he touched me with it, and I'm allergic to dust. So, I can only breathe out of one of my nostrils this morning. But, anyway, I got some weird things to talk about. So I guess I should just start with CPS alternative response. I don't really know what that exactly is. I didn't even know but CPS had a alternative response team. Has contacted me yesterday. And they let me know that they need to have a sit down with me, my husband, and my boys. Naturally, I panicked and freaked out. I apologized to the CPS worker. So that's kind of a touchy subject. And then my 17-year-old walked in, and I was on the phone with the CPS worker. And he could clearly see my distress. And I explained to him that who I was on the phone with, and they wanted to have a sit down with the four of us together. And then my son kind of freaked out because the concern was just sitting down with my husband and that conversation and how my husband was going to react when nobody was around. It was the same concern I had. Now I know who called. It was my son's school. My son's school had made a report with CPS about my husband's behavior. And I've been on edge since I found out on Friday that they did. Today's Wednesday. But they contacted me yesterday. And I gave my attorney's name and number, and I said, please call my attorney. Again, I apologize for the way I acted. It's very stressful. And so they did speak with my attorney, and then the end result that came from that is that they will not talk to us all together, but they do have to talk to everyone. So they will now talk to my husband separately, then talk to us separately away from him. And I did try to call back, to see about when me and my boys needed to talk to them. But I didn't get an answer. And so the concern was because the CPS worker had said, oh, you're going to let your husband know? No, why not? That's kind of like poking the bear. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not, I don't know what he's going to do, how he's going to react. And the CPS worker says, so do you want me to call him? I really don't want anything right now while we're still in the house with him. But after speaking to my attorney, the CPS worker, I feel a little better. about the process. Now, the weird thing is that I'm pretty sure that, the CPS worker already spoke to my husband. Because it's like a different person now. It's like night and day. It's like a completely different person. It's like he turned the switch off. And that in itself is kind of scary. Because I don't know what he's planning or anything, right? And my son's a little worried about that too. And even my 15-year-old says, I don't know what's wrong with Dad today. That's how big of a difference it was. So he came home from work, and I had asked my 15-year-old if he knew what my husband had planned for dinner so that I could start it. And he did not, so I did not want to cook the wrong thing and anger him. So my husband comes home, and he walks in the door. And he didn't say anything to me and my 15-year-old. My 17-year-old was at work. He didn't say anything. And I was like, he didn't even mumble nothing ugly under his breath. He didn't give me an ugly look. Okay. It's weird. Then he goes and puts his bag down, and then he goes to the bathroom, and then he goes and puts the food in the oven that he wanted prepared for today. Prepared yesterday for dinner, not today. Sorry. And then he comes and gets the dog collar, put the dog collar on Oreo, and then the harness, and then gets the leash and takes the dog for a walk. And that means he's going to go think about some things and probably make some phone calls to some people. Because he doesn't want me to know that he's on the phone with anyone. He'll usually walk outside or something. And then I was like, well, it's peaceful and calm at this moment. I'm gonna take advantage of that and go take my bath right now. I come down and he was by the island cutting up lettuce for salad. Okay. Still doesn't look at me or nothing. I go into the refrigerator to get me some water. And normally when I would walk by the island, he would run that complete opposite direction to get as far away from me in that room as possible and just stare at me with irritation because I had went in the near area where he was. He didn't do that. He just stayed there cutting up the salad. Okay? And then I went in the garage for a minute, and then he comes out, and in a very nice way, he says, dinner's on the table when you're ready. Okay. And then we're sitting down for dinner, and Oreo wanted food, so my 15-year-old got up and got him some food. And my 15-year-old said, that's a lot of food. I said, I said that to your brother. I said, that bag looks like an awful lot bigger than the bag you'll usually get. And your brother said it was the same size. And my husband went, huh? And his nice, calm, a bit confused on that when in it, I'm pretty sure it was a bigger bag, but, But it was like, huh? Instead of his normal, aggravated, ugly tones and faces. And then after dinner, I went in the garage and I come back into the kitchen and he had put the food back in the oven to keep warm for my 17-year-old. And then he was doing the dishes, and because I was the first one up from the table, so they were still eating. And I was like, when the CPS worker called him, what's going on with him? So I said, well, I'll know more once I get my 17-year-old home from work, because this is not his normal behavior. It's not even his normal behavior from this morning. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about him not looking at me with his ugly looks and belittling me and cussing me and telling me how stupid I am. I'm not complaining at all. I'm just simply noting that it's a complete different person than what we had in the morning to the evening. So when I get home from picking up my boy, I picked up a couple ice creams at the gas station. Mainly because I was picking up 2 SpongeBob ice creams, one from each of my older grandsons. And then I had to pick up a couple other ice creams for my 15-year-old and my 17-year-old. I can't get ice cream for my grandsons without them. I picked up 2 ice creams that I think my husband would enjoy. And so how it's been is I would pick up something for him and he will not touch it. He will, give me ugly looks and it's like, no, I don't want that. On the flip side of that, he will just take things. But if I offer it, he will not touch it. So this time I presented him with the 2 ice creams, and he didn't even hurry up and get off the computer, so I couldn't see what he was doing. Granted, I didn't look at the computer anyway, because I don't really care what he's doing. But he didn't even try to hide what he was doing on the computer this time. And he says, "Oh, they look good." And he's like, "Oh, thank you, though. They look delicious, and I would really like to eat one, but no, thank you, I can't." And my 17-year-old was like, "What?" And I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "But, if you don't get it now, my 15-year-old, he's going to eat it all." And he goes, "I'd really like to eat one. It looks delicious." He says, "But, I can't really eat that." And I said, "Oh, okay." He says, "Yeah, my teeth, I can't eat the ice cream." I said, "Oh, okay." And so then I put it in the freezer, and he says, "But thank you, though." And then he tells my 17-year-old, "Oh, your plate is at the table, but the food is in the oven to stay warm for you for dinner." And my 17-year-old's like, "Oh, yeah, thanks." And so that's been a complete night and day person from morning to that evening. And then my son, obviously, he's like, "Yeah, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. He's playing this game. I don't know what he's gonna do." I said, "Yeah, but I'm going to enjoy the blessing in disguise. We got a little bit of peace right now. I'm going to enjoy that." He's like, "Right?" That's what my son said, "Right?" And he says, "Oh, I know." The CPS person talked to him. He's playing this game so he doesn't get in trouble now. I said, let's just enjoy the peace that we have right now. And a little bit later, I went to go in the refrigerator to get something, and he was by the sink, and he did not run away again, away from me. Which he does that every time I go near the island. He will run the complete opposite direction away from me and give me ugly looks because I've inconvenienced him and made him move, which is very childish. But then this morning, he went and took a shower in my bathroom that's in my room. He didn't cause a lot of noise. And I guess my body was like used to that whole disturbance that he does, that I woke up and I see the lights on in the bathroom under the door, which means he's in there taking his shower. And I was like, okay. And then I went back to sleep, and then I woke up a little bit later and I was like, oh, he's done his shower. He didn't flick on the light, bump into my bed, make ugly comments loud enough to wake me up. Okay. Living in a twilight zone right now, but so I go downstairs and my husband says, oh, do you mind if I have put black beans in the chili? No, I don't care. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put black beans in the chili then, okay? Yeah, sure. Normally you don't even care if it's something that will close my throat if I eat it. But now you want to make sure I'm okay with black beans? He didn't wake my son up. I mean, my son's 17, really. He should be waking himself up. But it's been a thing that he's done with him all the time. Until recently. So, my son, I asked him how he's doing this morning because I woke him up. He says, well, Dad still didn't wake me up, but he did say goodbye this morning when he left for work. Okay. I'm waiting for that ball to drop. I'm still very much enjoying the peace that I have for the time being, but I don't know what he's planning. But I almost smiled because of how peaceful that it was, and I remembered he's probably plotting something. But with such a nice change of the atmosphere, I was like, oh wow, I had forgotten how nice it is to not have to walk in pins and needles, to not be afraid that if you breathe the wrong way, that you're gonna be called stupid and cussed at. I know something's going on. I don't know what. But I'm going to enjoy this piece. So, with that being said, I'm like 100% sure they've already contacted him. My boys and I have not had our meeting yet. But the school did notify me that they had made a CPS report about my husband. Anyway, Twilight Zone over here. Not sure what's going on, but I will keep you guys updated. And maybe we will be able to enjoy the holidays here together after all. And that would be great because my son's supposed to be here for New Year's and we can't wait to see him. And remember to keep moving forward. You are special. You are worthy. And plenty of people do love you. Until next time. Bye.